Dare from Galloway, Ireland. Love the podcast. Just wondering, what do you guys recommend for language settings on search campaigns is the best to go with? I feel like I could be missing out on a considerable percentage of searches. I'm concerned that our ads could show up for non-English language searches through close variants. Is this possible? He, of course, is targeting some mainland Europe with his campaign, so he's wondering if you should just target English, if the business speaks only English, or should you target other searches? Very, very interested in your answer here, Chris, because I have a very honest answer, and I don't know if it's right, but I do it.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know what you think.
This is a tough one because it's one of those metrics that you don't get. It's one of those settings you don't get metrics on, right? There's not many settings in Google Ads that you essentially
I'll tell blindly. You right. No, actually, you don't get it on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think
great.
And the thing is, this is such a huge high-level setting change that I'm not even sure experiments would answer for you. Because if you're changing something, which for those who don't know, when you change the language setting, it's not what they searched. It's not because they searched in English. Google doesn't care how you search.
That's a keyword. That's keywords.
Right. Yeah, that's keyword stuff. This is stuff where your browser setting, when you installed your browser and you hit English and you hit accept user agreement, that's what it's looking at. Like your initial English, French, Spanish language setting, even if you're searching in English, you could still not see an ad that's only targeting English speakers if your browser set to French as the default language. So in the end, I often change to all languages if I have a campaign that has plenty of budget. I mean, but if I have a campaign that I'm really restricted, I'm having issue with budget, or I really need to pull back on some things, I'll change it to English. So, I mean, I approach it very broadly. I honestly have no data one way or the other. And I know, people outside of the podcast that we talk to, do the same thing where they just I use it as kind of a, if I need more, I change it. If I don't want more, I change it the other way. So what do you think?
Chris, this is, we're two eggs from the same carton. We just come up.
Huh. Okay.
We just
peas in a pod is usually what people say, but
Louisville is usually what people say. Don't play that game. Chris, it's very interesting because we have some differences in different areas, but when it comes to Google Ads, we do a lot of things similar, even if we never talked about it before. So I'm the exact same way. If we're running $1,000 a month campaign, we set that sucker as English, and we don't even think about it because we're limited in budget, and there's nowhere, we're not trying to spend more and more and grow the campaign. But if it's a large campaign and there wants to be continual growth, just like you, I open it up for all languages because just like you, I've read that it's based on browser settings, not the searches. So if someone has their browser setting in a city like San Antonio, very Hispanic city, a lot of people speaking Spanish primarily in the home and stuff, maybe they set their browser to Spanish because they want to read things in Spanish and all that. But then when they're looking for a moving company or whatever, they know that when they when they interact with businesses in San Antonio, most of the time they speak English. So maybe they're using their Spanish browser setting and then type in a word like movers in San Antonio. And then when they call that business, they speak in English. I don't want to miss that search. But again, just like you, it's not really a big thing I focus on unless the goal is to spend more and more and grow the campaign as big as possible. Or if it's just a large campaign in general, that's when I guess both of us are saying, I don't know if we feel comfortable recommending it, but we're both saying, hey, we just set it to all languages and look at the search terms that come in and judge the quality based on that and based on the cost per conversion.